If you had just one shot, or just one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in a single moment, would you capture it, or would you let it slip? I chose existentialism because I've always been interested in this philosophy. Just the brain-numbing implications of this whole thought process reaching the inner machinations of your mind is an enigma. I.e., this whole philosophy is to understand our purpose of existing. Human existence as it is, not ruling science itself out, but just considering every option available to oneself. And throughout the experiment, I came to realize that I've always kind of had this mentality. The ever-deep thinking of, for what reason? Or why are we here, just to repeat a process over and over? But light of an epiphany, we're here to be part of a story. Unlike the majority of existentialists, according to me, life does have meaning, at least at the time of writing this presentation. I'm going to talk about the greater emotions, love, loss, the big ones, of course, death. When looking upon life, it's always a question of why. Why pain, why joy, why depression, why anger, why happiness? For what reason do we inhale and exhale? All for what? Just to do the same thing again? Wake up, get sleep, go to work, over and over and over and over. In the grand scheme of things, within the confines of reality, life will stop, it will cease, and with it, your story, your adventure. And with it, what comes next? Nothing that we know of. Life exists just to perform a job, exist and carry out duties predestined before we came into this world. Soren Kierkegaard once said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." On the topic of love through the pain of existentialism, looking at someone or something that you care the world about, as if in the end it means nothing, was one of the hardest things to try and do with this project. All the joy of seeing someone's happiness, all for naught. The joy they bring you, all for nothing. What you cherish the most, you have to learn to look at it as you will lose this. You have to observe it critically for what it will become. Take off those rose-tinted glasses and replace them with mirrored aviators, with somber eyes, as if in the end there's nothing. And even platonically, going from leaning on your best friends, the highlight of the week, to view it as having no true value in life was debilitating, to say the least. To look at other people fully realizing that you came into the world alone and will leave alone was crushing. And leaving alone. What thought? We spend our entire lifetimes practicing free will, having free will, building our relationships with others, making lifelong bonds with partners and friends. Just to leave it all behind? The emptiness is the only end to life, the end of a story, not a pretty picture. The 5 days went by so incredibly fast. Getting information was the easy part. Looking at the data gathered from research, the initial strain of this experiment seemed to fade away. Keeping a log of thought lightened the burden of my mental health. In fact, all the thoughts backed up in my brain just exploded, flying through my fingers in the project when I would sit down and write my findings. As I would decompress my thoughts in the assignment, it got me thinking even more. What's the point of this, as well, the presentation, I mean? Just to get points for my assignment, or to further my education? Or is there a deeper meaning to it? But alas, it must be done no matter the outcome, similar to breathing. At any given moment, you draw your last breath into your lungs, you know. Seeing other people walking in the hallways of school, looking down at their phones, I had spots of inquiry with them, asking why do they exist? What purpose do we serve? Among the weird looks and short laughing responses, a young man said to me, to make others smile, take some weight off their back. Profound thought from a man late to class. This philosophy is a gateway. Practically opens up the door with bright neon glowing safety tape, guiding a wandering mind directly into nihilism, the belief that everything is meaningless, that it's all fake, to embrace that the world and life is just all for naught, no real reason for emotion, true chaos in the midst of reality. In the end, life has meaning, to bring joy, relief to other people, a noble cause, to make something of your life. Small increments of this philosophy are normal. Everyone's mind always wonders what it's like to think of life with no purpose at all. Everyone goes through thoughts and emptiness, thoughts of void, and that's normal. After standardized testing, loss of a loved one, presentations to write, the in-between alleyways of life often claim victims in existentialism, then nihilism. Having an inquisitive mind? It's normal. Just don't lose yourself.